Reuters claimed an exclusive on this, with Chinese authorities telling domestic companies in China to stop using cybersecurity software made by roughly a dozen US companies, including some Israeli companies as well. According to the reporting, Broadcom-owned VMware, Palo Alto Networks, Fortinet were actually named among the US firms whose cybersecurity software has been banned. Like this kind of America banned Kaspersky, so this kind of geopolitical banning of someone else's security software. Big story, small story. Juanito, do you guys do business in there, and are you named in there?
I'm pretty sure they put us on the list, which just means that just gives you an understanding of how performative this is, because like this is a nothing burger for us, right? Like who the fuck, like why are you operating in China in that way?
Meaning
That
you don't
said,
have any customers there? What do you mean by
no,
nothing
no.
burger?
No, like as in nothing direct, like we're not looking to do any business in China. And then
Got
that's
it.
where I'll leave it because it's not my place to really talk
Yeah, no,
about
no,
it
I'm
much
not asking you
further.
to speak for the company. I'm
But
just curious
yeah,
what you meant by nothing burger.
well, I think my bigger point is we have seen this space balkanizing further and further. We've seen it happening in Russia for, however many years now, and China has already been there. They operate in their own fucking internet. So the idea that this is like, oh my God, we're they're not trusting us with their like security. That's not a global thing anymore. That was a delusion that we all got to play in for about 10 years while we were all still coming out of that like post Cold War hangover where we all pretended we were going to sing Kumbaya and be friends and live in the same world. But that shit's over. It's been over. And the notion that you are going to trust your cybersecurity to foreign entities is ridiculous.
It's a non-starter,
So
right?
it's always
So
been a
none of this is a
non-starter.
shock. Yeah.
Well, it's not a shock. It will be. I think it's mostly a shock to the people who want to pretend that this isn't happening and that you can play all sides all the time, which is mostly the mega corporations, right? Like the big ones, Google and Microsoft and Amazon and Apple and others they're trying to keep the peace because they've been trying to live in this illusion that like they can be global companies and by virtue of that essentially be um, uh, detached from any one particular nation and not loyal or interested in the concerns of any particular country. Like I've said it before on this podcast and I've like bitched infinitely, but like frankly, you you are global, your American companies when somebody's attacking you, when somebody's stealing your intellectual property, when somebody's stealing your business or treating you unfairly. But your global companies, when the U.S. actually needs something, when we have any kind of problems, when we need you to step up for cybersecurity, or maybe not subcontract national security things to Chinese engineers, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of hypocrisy there that's entirely financially motivated. I don't think that people don't care about the US or they're not seeing what's happening. They just want to, pad shareholder pockets for as long as possible before the gig is up. And we're getting to the point where those lines are becoming just spelled out. Like they're clearly on the tin. The map, the global map is being somebody's taking crayons and like drawing lines, and companies are going to have to get real eventually. They're not going to do it proactively, but they have to get real eventually about where they can and can't operate. And until they make that a realistic adjustment on their price projections and shareholder value projections, they're going to have a bad time. Because if you're pretending that the total addressable market is the global market, then the day you have to be honest and say, actually, we can't operate in Russia, we can't operate in China, nor we manufacture in China, but we can't sell in China, has been completely misscoped, and you're going to have to get real. And it's not going to look pretty for a quarter or two, but maybe you should have been thinking about, your business on more than quarterly cycles.